Yeah, it's for me, I almost feel like I wish everyone could take acting classes at some point in their life, especially in younger life or even, in college, high school, college. Because you really when you learn acting and you learn character development, you really dig into what makes people tick as humans and what just about the human condition, which is I think more develops more empathetic people. You can have some fun. Could be in your alter ego. I have many alter egos. So I highly recommend having an alter ego and just have some fun with it and play around. Hi, welcome back to Fireside Rebels. I'm Carole Ann. Today, I wanted to talk about a little bit about character building. I had an audition today again. It's hilarious because I get such weird, different audition requests for my acting. Um, yeah, so this is not what I was wearing for the audition, but uh, anyway, I wanted to talk about as women. We spend a lot of our life, I don't know, trying to live up to other people's society's expectations of us or who we see in fashion magazines or on television. We're always chasing the different hairstyles, and I'm always chasing different wigs because I don't have very much hair up here. But it's, we spend a lot of our time, I think, just naturally kind of creating a character for ourselves of how we want to show up in the world. But we don't look at it that way. And I know for me, like I mean, I studied acting for several years and did a lot of theater and some film and television. And I love creating characters. I love the thought and process that goes into building out a character. Yeah, it's for me, I almost feel like I wish everyone could take acting classes at some point in their life, especially in younger life or even, in college, high school, college. Because you really when you learn acting and you learn character development, you really dig into what makes people tick as humans and what just about the human condition, which is I think more develops more empathetic people in general. But yeah, the process of creating a character that you're going to play in a play or a TV show or on a commercial or whatever is super fun. Like I mean, I love it. Like it's a craft and I put a lot into it. I learned several different techniques, from method acting to different styles of, yeah, I mean, a lot of different acting teachers have their own adaptation and interpretation of traditional styles of acting technique. But um, yeah, I'll do a whole bunch of stuff when I build a character for an acting scene. I'll figure out, what are the obvious clues in the script. Sometimes the auditions I'm getting are very limited scripts, 1 or 2 pages. There's not a lot of information there, so I really need to like use my imagination to create a character. And but yeah, the meatier and juicier the character and the more diverse from me who I show up in the world as is more fun. But yeah, I got to audition this last year. One was for a TV show that was like this big tough um garbage worker who is runs an illegal poker game. It's like so crazy, some of these things. But it was so fun to like, I even had like the work coveralls, which was hilarious, like, and work boots with steel toes. Oh my God, I get right into it. Like, it's so funny. And auditioned for this other one where I was like a witch. Oh, and I think she was dead. I think I was a dead witch and supposed to be in the non-living world, um, stuck in like purgatory or something. I'm not even sure because I didn't get to see the whole script and it hasn't come out yet. some kind of purgatory witch trapped with all these other witches, and like and this character was from the 1920s. So I had full blown, I have all these flapper dresses. Of course, I have a whole bunch of sequin flapper dresses in my wardrobe. And so I had on this beautiful, like sequin with fringe flapper dress. Oh my God. And I had this cute bob and false eyelashes and red lipstick. And I had lace, like fingerless gloves and jewelry, the choker. Oh yeah. Because she was dead, or she was dead, but she was in sort of purgatory. I decided for myself that she had her throat slit. So I put a choker on my neck to cover up because if you're in purgatory and you died from a slit throat, you're going to cover it up with a black velvet choker. So that was my, I rationalize everything when I'm creating a character. Okay, I'm really getting off on a tangent here. Anyway, so creating a character, the more you delve into the details, it just makes that character more believable. So that's what works for me. And I even if I'm doing a play and I have to create a character, I'll write a full biography, not just several pages. Like I'll write out several pages of the backstory of this character. Some of the clues you'll find in the script. Where did they grow up? Who were they married to? What was their blah, blah, blah? What did they do for a job? What are their hobbies? Whatever. Some of those things you find in the script because they're pertinent to the play, and some you don't. So it's up to the actor to create different aspects of the character for their backstory. And it just helps, like I said, flesh out a more realistic, truthful, believable character. So anyway, so I also I'll write this biography of the character in first person. So I'll write it as though I am the character. I was born in this and I'll figure out a dialect if they're supposed to be in a certain place, a certain country, they're from, whatever their background is. I'll always make sure that I find the voice as best I can. And a lot of American and Canadian plays are like standard American dialect, it's called, which is just kind of no dialect. It sounds how we all think we talk, but Canadians say out and about. So that's very Canadian. So you have to be careful of that. Again, I'm getting off on a tangent. But I'll find the dialect, I'll write a biography, I will figure out the animal. So there's this one, so method acting uses animal work in its technique, where you figure out if your character was an animal, what animal would they be? And so you really try to emulate that animal, and it works so well. I was playing this part one time where my character, I was wasn't sure who this character was. And then I started playing around with some ideas for one rehearsal. And I realized she was a pink flamingo. And that I spent one whole, and I mean, sometimes it doesn't work. You go, oh no, that didn't work. And I think I might've chose something else first. And I was like, no, she's not that, like a cat or something. Like Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Maggie, her nickname is Maggie the cat. So she's a cat. That's pretty clear in the script from Tennessee Williams. Maggie the cat is a cat. But then you can find which type of cat is she for you. But in this particular script, it was actually Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, this play, and I was playing Sissy. And I realized for me, she was a pink flamingo. And as soon as I did this whole rehearsal as Sissy, as a pink flamingo, every aspect of her physicality became real for me. And I was like, oh my God, I know how she walks. I know she walks with a bit of an arched back and sticks her butt out. And she's very proud of her boobs and her butt. And she very much struts and poses. And I wore these really high heels, and I wore this funny, I found this perfect, lavender or lilac colored, those dresses that used to be probably in the 80s. They were kind of like a tight spandex top fitted, and then it had this fluffy kind of a skirt. Oh my God, it was hilarious. So the animal really helps with even if it's just 5% of the animal that ends up coming out in the physicality of the character or even the voice of the character. Maybe it's got a kind of a screechy voice or something. Anyway, that's super helpful. But yeah, finding when you're building a character, for me, shoes are always super important because I have to know how the character is going to walk and move around and stand. And then the clothes, obviously, and the hair. And so I always have to, so I will like create different characters with different wigs and different styles. So I bring this up today because even in life, like women especially, we tend to, without even realizing it, create different characters in our life depending on the situation we have to go into. And I found when I was a city councilor, like, holy shit, like people go, yeah, but you used to do acting and all that. Yeah, I kind of did acting. Like I went to acting school to learn how to act, but also because I was really shy. Like I hated public speaking. I mean, I think 95% or 98% of the public hates public speaking as themselves. Acting is not the same as public speaking. Acting is you have a script, you have months to memorize, usually months or whatever, weeks even to memorize your lines. And you're creating this character. So you are stuffing your own self inside this character facade that's got different hair, different makeup, different clothes, different shoes. They have talk differently and they speak different words. And they're in a completely made up situation scenario on a set, and it's a play or it's a TV show or a movie. So it's completely different. It is nothing at all like getting up at a political debate as yourself and being grilled with questions about what you think about how you're going to build up the economy in your town and how you're going to stop climate change and how you're going to house the unhoused and how you're going to fix the zoning bylaw and how you're going to fix the streets and pave the potholes while adding bike lanes and if you don't know answers to these questions, which most of us do not, you have to wing it and you feel like a bozo because you don't really know, like you know that you sound like a bozo if you don't know the answers. Well, I mean, after 8 years on council, I knew all the answers that I had anyway. That not that they were all the answers, but I knew what was not our jurisdiction, what we had roadblocks trying to do, what we needed help from other levels of government to do, what we needed to work with other area governments in our region, blah, blah, blah. So I created a character a little bit, like it wasn't really that much work, but I would kind of like sort of have to warm up and pump up a little bit before I would go into certain like challenging council meetings or public events or definitely debates and anything like that, or interviews. Like I'd have to basically kind of like pull on my character of, and I used to say this at some of the conferences and conventions to my colleagues that were also elected. I'd go, hi, I'm Carole Ann Leishman. I'm playing city councilor today. And they would laugh. I'd be like, you're so funny. But I was serious. Like I did not feel like I could pull off that role as Carole Ann, like, you know, just wanting to hang out like my normal self. I felt like I needed to kind of create this character who had more confidence, who dressed in a smart blazer and slacks and sensible shoes, not always sensible shoes, and, you know, had all the statistics and the details and could speak very articulately. And yeah, it was like, it really helped doing the stuff that I learned at acting school, vocal warm-ups, physical warm-up a little bit before having to speak in public really helps because you don't get as tongue-tied when you warm up your voice and your face and yeah, your body. you don't get as nervous and yeah, you're able to speak a bit better. Not like right now. I guess I didn't warm up very good. I'm kind of speaking goofy, but anyway. So I wanted to share that if you have to go into different challenging or just uncomfortable situations or any time that you feel a bit unsure of yourself, you can step into a character. You don't have to tell people you have a different name. Although when I was a roller derby coach and team captain, my roller derby name was Blonde Slambition, but everyone called me Slam for short. So I ended up getting Slam on some of my shirts. And being Slam really helped me with that kind of like kick your ass attitude. Like I felt tougher and stronger, and I was a fast skater, and I just had a lot more confidence when I was in my roller derby gear, and I was kind of towering over some people up on my skates, and I had Slam on my back, like, and my number was 343, the speed of light. No, the speed of sound. I was faster than the speed of sound. So, creating a bit of a character, if you have to go into challenging situations or go into rooms that you're not sure about, or deal with people that you feel it's going to be a challenging conversation, I just highly recommend sort of just playing around with that and creating a bit of a badass character who's stronger and tougher and bolder than you feel you are a lot of the time, and is articulate and is intelligent and doesn't take any shit from anybody. And it's super helpful. And if you create a bit of a wardrobe for them, and obviously it would change. You would change depending on the situation. But like for me, it's kind of always navy blue blazers. And it's that one character for like my elected official work, or going into those kind of spaces with provincial ministers and such. I will put on more of a smart blazer and more of a clean kind of proper hairstyle and minimal makeup and, sensible shoes. But it does, like, you'll know this as women watching this, what you wear helps you, like, you'll feel different in different things, right? Like right now I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts. I feel pretty casual. Like I feel pretty relaxed, and I wouldn't feel like very confident going into a meeting dressed like this. I'd be like, oh, Jesus, I am out of place here. I should not be wearing this. And so if you dress for the part and the room that you're stepping into, if you have to speak to professionals about something that's whatever it is, you have to go talk to the bank manager or deal with something, or you're going back to university, I don't know, like whatever it is, if it's something that you feel you want to kind of step up your game and feel somewhat more confident than you might normally, I'd say create a wardrobe, create a character, and practice that. And you can just practice that character around the house. Like when nobody's home, you can just like pretend to be that character, and you can warm up your voice like by doing the different vocal exercises and enunciation exercises. Like, people all know Peter Piper pecked a peck of pickled pepper. So if you practice enunciation exercises like that, it helps to warm up your mouth to be able to enunciate so that you don't trip over your tongue, and just warming up your whole face area and doing like, big kind of stretches and different vocalizations. I used to do all these singing vocalizations because I was a singer and a dancer as well. So I would do kind of a dance warm up and a vocal warm up so that I didn't strain my voice. So there's all these vocal exercises you can do as well, which not only helps you project so that I don't know if you realize, but if you don't use your voice, like say you get up in the morning, nobody's home, you're just getting ready, you're not talking, you're not using your voice, and then you have to go to a meeting, or you have to go, like for me, it's like I'll have to go on a Zoom call. If I haven't like warmed up my voice yet, I'll be literally like, sorry, I can hardly talk. It's like 9:00 in the morning and I haven't talked to anybody yet. And it's so annoying. Like it's gonna be annoying for everybody on the call. So I always was like, oh crap, I have a meeting or a team call that I know I have to like use my voice and talk on the call. Right before the call, I'll try to do a quick little vocal warm up just to get my vocal cords warmed up, because they'll be all phlegmy and, cold from having slept on them all night. So just some tips on public speaking, because, oh God, heaven forbid you ever actually have to do public speaking if you're terrified of it. But I know like people, if they become passionate about something and then they go, okay, fuck it, I'm going to talk to city council about this issue, it's really driving me nuts or whatever, like highly recommend doing that, because city council listens to people that come and talk to them. As long as they're being respectful and not screaming and yelling, then it's like, oh God, you just sound a bit wacko. So I highly recommend also being respectful and knowing your facts, and getting your facts straight before you go yell at council. Don't yell at council, just go and respectfully request, more information, or can, staff follow up, blah, 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 whatever the issue is. But if you do have to go do that, it's fucking terrifying for anyone who has not had to get up in like a public meeting anywhere. It's terrifying. Like, if you have question and answer period, even after a movie or some kind of event or something, or there's political debates where you want to go ask a question in the audience and you have to go stand at the mic, that's terrifying for most, I would say most people. It's only until you're kind of so passionate about it, like your fear of public speaking is overridden by your anger or your passion or your, whatever is like sort of challenging your values, and you feel compelled to get up and speak at the microphone. It's because that matters more than your fear of public speaking. And suddenly you have this courage and this impetus to get up there and just like, fuck it, I'm getting up there and giving this person, or making sure I ask this question because I want to know if I'm voting for this person, what their values are. So it's interesting, but you can make it better for yourself by warming up your voice even before you go to the event. If you have a feeling you might get up to the microphone, or it's like warm up in the car as you're going there, sing a song, do some little exercises, do like ha, 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 all kinds of noises, just kind of gets everything moving, and then you'll hork some stuff up probably. And having lemon and honey. We used to do warm water with lemon and honey we could keep our vocal cords nice and soothed when we were singing a lot, like rehearsing for a musical where you're singing hours and hours at a time and then performing. So if you want to create a character, I highly recommend it. And those are some of the tips and tricks, and I may share some more in a future episode, but I think you'll have fun with it. And if you do have any wigs, getting a wig is super fun. The first time I used to wear wigs as a kid, and I was such a goofball. When I was in my early 20s, I'd already gone to, so I was at acting school. I was in LA, and I bought this beautiful long auburn wig for a part that I was doing at theater school. And so it was like pulled back at the top, but it was this gorgeous long auburn, thick, like wavy, kind of a princess kind of a wig. And so it looked totally different than, I was blonde and I had usually maybe shoulder length hair, stringy, thin, scraggly hair. And this one year I performed at our summer sea fair event by the sea at the beach or whatever. And so I had sang earlier in the day, because I was fairly fresh back from LA. And so a lot of people were coming up to me and like, oh my God, I haven't seen you for so long. What you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And so I wanted to go back to the Seafair event, but I just wanted to just chill out. I didn't want to be like, people kept coming up to me constantly. And I am a bit of an introvert, believe it or not. And it can be really exhausting when people are constantly like coming over and saying this and saying that, and you have no control over it. So I was like, I just want to go back to the beach and listen to the music. There were some good bands coming up later in the evening, and I was like, I just want to go back and hang out. So I went and put on my wig, my long auburn wig, and these hippie beatnik round sunglasses, and I had this wonderful like tie-dyed hippie skirt that I had from somewhere, and this blouse, and I had a sort of a hippie looking handbag and flip-flops or like some kind of sandals. And I walked back to the beach and nobody recognized me. It was so awesome. And of course, why would they? Like, who's gonna in the right mind imagine, oh, there's Carole Ann in a wig? Now they might think that, but I hung out against the logs at the beach and just listened to the music. And I think I winked at and waved at somebody that knew me, that was like, oh my God, it's Carole Ann. But nobody knew me. And this one couple, I heard them walking behind me. And the woman was like, oh my God, look at that woman's hair. It's beautiful. I was laughing. I was like, it's a wig. Nobody's ever said you have beautiful hair. Anyway, so it can be helpful even if you want to go out in a public event where you think everybody's going to know your name and you just want to just chill out and be by yourself. Just wear a disguise, wear a wig, wear a different dress, and you can have some fun. You could be in your alter ego. I have many alter egos. So I highly recommend having an alter ego and just have some fun with it and play around. But yeah, that was what came to me today that I thought I would share, because I just had an audition and I'm creating another character for another project that's coming up. So it's kind of top of mind right now. So I hope you have fun with it. I hope you create a character and go play around with it. So I look forward to seeing you next time when you're going to let me know how you are in igniting your second act. Bye for now.